Hello and welcome to today's briefing. I'm Dana, and joining me is Matt. We're covering the latest news across various categories.
Hi Dana, hello everyone. Let's dive into the stories we have today.
The United Arab Emirates has suspended all trade with Iran following a missile attack. The Emirati Foreign Ministry decided to impose punitive measures after 2 ballistic missiles were fired at the country.
That's a significant escalation. What does this mean for the economic relationship between the UAE and Iran?
The move will further isolate Iran, which is already suffering under U.S. sanctions and a blockade. The UAE was one of Iran's key economic lifelines in the region.
So this suspension effectively cuts off a crucial trade route for Iran. How might Iran respond to this development?
The report says Iran has urged regional parties to avoid claims against Iran, suggesting they might be looking for diplomatic avenues to resolve the situation.
That's interesting. It seems like a delicate situation. What's the broader geopolitical context here?
The tensions between Iran and the UAE are part of a larger complex of regional conflicts and alliances. The U.S. sanctions on Iran have been a significant factor in the economic strain on the country.
Right, and the UAE's decision to suspend trade is likely to add to that strain. Let's move on to another story.
President Donald Trump has nominated Dr. Heidi Overton to lead the Food and Drug Administration. She's currently a deputy director of the White House Domestic Policy Council.
Dr. Overton is a trusted figure in the administration, I understand. What are the implications of her nomination for the FDA?
As the new head of the FDA, Dr. Overton will need Senate confirmation and will face questions from the Senate Health Committee. Her background in domestic policy could bring a new perspective to the role.
That's true. The FDA is a critical regulatory body. How might her experience in the White House influence her approach at the FDA?
It's likely she'll bring a strong understanding of the administration's priorities and policies which could shape the FDA's regulatory decisions.
Okay, got it. Let's see how she navigates the confirmation process.
Ukraine's ousted defense minister, Mikhailo Fedorov, has called for wartime elections, citing a crisis of governance in the country.
That's a significant challenge to President Volodymyr Zelensky's leadership. What's the context behind this call for elections?
Fedorov's demand is the first of its kind by a major Ukrainian political figure since Russia's full-scale invasion. It represents a major internal challenge to Zelensky's government.
Wartime elections are quite unprecedented. How might this affect Ukraine's political landscape?
It could lead to significant political changes and potentially alter the dynamics within the Ukrainian government.
That's a complex situation. Let's keep an eye on how this develops.
President Trump has paused the planned rollout of 50% tariffs on Canadian goods for 3 days, amid progress in trade negotiations between the U.S. and Canada.
The tariffs were set to take effect just after midnight. What prompted this pause?
Both sides indicated they were close to a broader trade agreement after weeks of talks. The pause suggests some optimism about reaching a deal.
That's a positive development. How significant are these tariffs in the context of U.S.-Canada trade?
The 50% tariff would have been quite punitive. Pausing it gives both sides some breathing room to finalize negotiations.
Right. Let's see if they can reach an agreement.
Sen. Darlene Graham stumbled over a foreign policy question during a debate in South Carolina, which could be a concern ahead of her runoff election.
The question was about Taiwan and the South China Sea. How did she respond?
Graham struggled to answer the question, which was a signature issue of her late brother. It was a high-profile misstep just before the runoff.
That's a tough spot to be in. How might this affect her chances in the election?
It could be a significant issue, especially if her opponents highlight her lack of clarity on foreign policy.
Okay, we'll see how this plays out in the campaign.
Shiprocket's shares listed at a 35% premium over the IPO price of 97 rupees per share. The stock opened at 131 rupees apiece on NSE.
That's a strong debut. What does this indicate about investor confidence in the company?
The premium listing suggests investors are optimistic about Shiprocket's growth prospects. Analysts are recommending holding the shares for the long term.
Okay, so it's seen as a positive sign for the company's future.
Google's first office in Pakistan is expected to strengthen the country's tech talent and ecosystem. The IT minister called it a significant milestone.
Google's presence reflects growing trust in Pakistan's digital economy. What are the potential benefits of this move?
The local office is likely to create greater opportunities for Pakistan's youth and boost the country's digital initiatives.
That's great news for Pakistan's tech industry.
Gold prices fell 800 rupees to 1.58 lakh rupees per 10 grams in Delhi amid rising crude oil prices and geopolitical uncertainty.
The decline in gold prices is interesting. What's driving this trend?
Rising crude oil prices and geopolitical tensions are weighing on bullion sentiment. Investor caution ahead of U.S. Federal Reserve meeting minutes also played a role.
Okay, so it's a combination of factors affecting gold prices.
Estee Lauder's stock jumped 17.7% after the company reported better than expected quarterly results. Revenue came in at $3.63 billion.
That's a significant jump. What were the key highlights of their earnings report?
The company beat estimates with organic sales rising 5% ahead of expectations. This suggests strong top-line growth.
Okay, so it's a positive sign for the company's turnaround efforts.
Nick Kyrgios has been provisionally suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine. He admitted to making a huge mistake.
That's a shocking development. What are the implications for Kyrgios' career?
The suspension is a serious consequence. Kyrgios faces potential further penalties from the International Tennis Integrity Agency.
Right. This could have long-term effects on his career.
Nneka Ogwumike has announced her retirement at the end of the 2026 season. She's an 11-time WNBA All-Star.
Ogwumike has had an illustrious career. What are the highlights of her achievements?
She's an 8-time All-WNBA forward and played a key role in the WNBA's growth, including her tenure as president of the Players Union.
That's a remarkable legacy. Her contributions will be remembered.
The judge in the case of Texas teenager Carmelo Anthony, convicted of fatally stabbing an athlete at a track meet, has been removed.
Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison. What's the basis for his appeal?
Anthony's legal team argued that a retrial is warranted, partly due to issues with the original trial.
Okay, so there's a possibility of a new trial. Let's see how this case unfolds.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are acquiring guard Daniel Faale from the New York Giants in exchange for a late-round 2027 NFL draft pick.
Faale was working as a swing guard in New York. What does this trade mean for the Jaguars?
The trade addresses a need for the Jaguars after their guard Patrick McCarry underwent back surgery.
Right, so it's a strategic move to strengthen their lineup.
Fernando Tatis Jr. homered twice and robbed a grand slam, helping the San Diego Padres beat the New York Mets 5-2.
Tatis had an impressive game. What were some of the highlights?
He not only hit 2 home runs, but also made a spectacular defensive play by robbing Francisco Lindor of a grand slam.
That's incredible. His performance was a key factor in the Padres' win.
Frank Beard, the longtime drummer for ZZ Top, has died at 77. He was a key member of the band for 56 years.
Beard was known for his innovative drumming style. What was his contribution to ZZ Top's sound?
He helped define the band's blues rock sound over more than 5 decades.
That's a significant loss for the music world.
Sunita Ahuja has withdrawn her divorce petition against her husband. The actor's manager confirmed the development. There were rumors of a rift between Govinda and Sunita Ahuja. What led to this withdrawal? Sunita Ahuja visited a Mumbai family court and withdrew the case, indicating a resolution in their family matter.
Okay, so it seems the issue has been resolved internally.
Robin Williams' children have reactivated his Instagram account to combat AI abuse of his likeness.
The decision to revive the account is driven by concerns about AI misuse. What are they hoping to achieve?
They aim to maintain the authenticity of Robin Williams' shared memories and honor his legacy.
That's a noble effort. Let's see how this impacts the conversation around AI.
Emran Hashmi's film Awarapan 2 has crossed the 100 crore mark, marking his first solo 100 crore hit.
The film has done exceptionally well. What factors contributed to its success?
The movie's strong start and continued momentum have helped it achieve this milestone.
That's great news for Emran Hashmi's career.
Kawalfin Nikoilij won the 2026 Rose of Tralee title. She shared her journey with alopecia during the event.
Nikoilij's story is inspiring. How did she handle the pressure of sharing her personal experience?
She used the platform to raise awareness about alopecia and her experience with wigs.
That's a powerful message. Let's hope it resonates with many.
Harvard University has agreed to pay a $53 million settlement after its former morgue manager stole and sold body parts donated for research.
The scandal involved Cedric Lodge, who was sentenced to 8 years in prison. What were the circumstances?
Lodge stole and sold body parts from Harvard Medical School, leading to lawsuits from families of the donors.
That's a horrific abuse of trust. The settlement aims to resolve the lawsuits.
Well, that's all for today's briefing. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Dana. It's been a pleasure covering these stories with you. Until next time.